Hello viewers, Tim Poole here, editor of Gambling Insider, and I'm with Per Widerström, CEO of Evoke. Per, thanks for joining us here at ICE on the Huddle. How do you reflect on your first year or so as CEO of Evoke?
First and foremost, great to be here. Busy event as always. I mean, it's a bit more than a year now for me, and it has been a pivotal year. It has been the year when we introduced a new strategy, our value creation plan. And to make a long story short, it's a fundamental transformation, and divided into two: it's a short-term trading turnaround, as well as then investing into future capability. I'm really happy to see that 1 year into the new job, that we see the business is back to growth. Q3 we had the growth year on year. We had Q4 even greater momentum and traction, and also very happy to say that we are delivering upon our guidance. We are a higher end when it comes to both revenue as growth as well as in underlying EBITDA. So a fantastic year, but you can imagine also sometimes a roller coaster.
Absolutely. When you were hired, from the outside looking in, obviously your experience of Fortuna Entertainment, is it fair to say that perhaps you are seen as the right man because of a past in compliance and certainly regulated markets?
I have been for quite many years having the opportunity to lead companies in regulated markets, highly competitive markets. So I believe I bring that with me as an experience. I think likewise to have the opportunity, I've had that opportunity over the years, because I have a few gray hairs, to be part of great teams where we have done some fantastic transformation turnarounds. And I believe that was also one of the reasons why I was asked to join this great company.
This will be an easy question to answer, I think, because there's a little bit of a compliment in here. We have a regular Gambling Insider contributor. It's Alex Chizowski. I met him earlier last year, and he said to me that he learned more in 2 years working for you than in 10 years at his previous job. Just wondering, obviously that's a third-party comment, so you've done something right along the way. What do you kind of aim to do as a leader, and what might be having that kind of impact on maybe key individuals such as that, or maybe others that you've managed?
Very kindly said by Alex to start with. I really enjoyed working with him, and I also learned tremendously from him as well. I mean, it's actually for others to give their view on my leadership and what I bring to a company, but what I always try to do is to be absolutely clear with my team that what our vision is, the strategic framework, be clear about how to address the customer in terms of the customer value proposition, to be clear about how to instigate operational excellence, putting in, I would say, strategic plan for execution, and then be obsessed about the execution of the strategy. Ultimately, it's about building a winning team, and that I've had the privilege over the years to be part of.
Now, this question will be a little less easy. As a sports bettor, this is purely my opinion, sort of in recent years, the 888 offering, I've found it lacking as a user compared to rivals such as 365 or Flutter brands. Is that something when you came in at the top level, you maybe looked to address or identify, is the offering, the markets, the odds, that's something that you've looked at?
So if you look at overall, the way we are now approaching the market as part of the new strategy, we are absolutely clear about that. We have a core set of markets, and in those markets, across the brands, we are in double down on investment from a product perspective and a customer experience perspective. I think it's fair to say when it comes to the 888 sports offering that it's more to be done. The integration of the two companies coming together as one gives us opportunity to bring more events, more markets to the 888 sports offering, and that is, we are doing it, and it's improving. It's more to be done. But it's very clearly so that we are here to compete with both all the brands we have, including also Mr. Green, and investing into the product proposition is hugely important.
What kind of challenges overall have you experienced in kind of this first just over a year in the role?
It's a great question, and doing a business transformation at this scale is never easy. And in particular, when you need to do transformation with the two dimensions that I was referring to, on one side, a short-term trading turnaround, while at the same time investing into mid- and long-term capabilities. And to have an organization then to do both at the same time is a challenge.
So to jump in, it's almost two opposing things almost.
It can be seen like that, and that's why we have spent and are still spending, proper time to communicate that actually we have to do both things at the same time. And I think it's really encouraging to see that from a short-term perspective, we are back to growth, 2 consecutive quarters. And likewise now that we do see the proper build-up on new capability in terms of the product, in terms of customer engagement and so on. So that is one challenge, I would say, when it comes to managing that in parallel. The second one, I think it's fair to say that when we went out with the H1 interim results, it was not what we expected. We were clear about that. We were not happy with that, to a large extent driven by the legacy setup we had. I'm even more than happy to say, and I mentioned that before, that we are back to growth, Q3, Q4, and delivering upon our commitments. So that was, I would say, 2 specific challenges that I will bring up.
Yeah, you were very publicly vocal in those H1 results. You wanted better, and this trading update that you recently released, the numbers were all in the right, going the right way, and the market reacted positively. Can you walk us a little bit through the specifics of that update and how you feel maybe compared to when you were telling the market that those previous results weren't acceptable?
I mean, you can imagine as a CEO to stand in front of the market and the shareholders to have, we have not I would say, numbers as you would have expect compared to that you're actually overperforming. It's a fundamental different income position to start with, but that's part of the job, it goes up and down, and hopefully, and going forward it's mostly up. I think the key message when it comes to our latest trading update, again, is that we have a solid year-on-year growth. We had a Q4 that was 12 to 30% up year-on-year. Very happy to see that our focus on cost efficiency also paying off. So our EBITDA margin, north of 20%, which then landed in an H2 2024 at the higher end of the guidance of 5 to 9% growth, and equal so plus 20% EBITDA margin. So solid, I would say, and the Q3 momentum that we communicated has continued, and we're adamant that is to be continued also in this new year.
Recently, you announced the acquisition of the Winner.ro brand. I did a little video analysis of that, which I know you saw because you shared it on LinkedIn. Just wondering if you thought that analysis was fair, maybe give you the opportunity to kind of comment on some of it. I think my main points were that it certainly makes sense with the barriers to entry mentioned in the Romanian market, and it was a lot more aligned than perhaps, the William Hill legacy acquisition. But I suppose a warning there that, Entain have made a lot of acquisitions in recent years, and some of those receive criticism. So there's always that line of buying the right brands and maybe not buying too many and that kind of thing.
I mean, if we look at the strategy that we have, we are focused on what we call the core markets. With Romania, we saw the 888 brand, performing exceptionally well. There was an opportunity to join forces with the Winner team and to further, I would say, cement in a strong position in an excellent market. We had the privilege over the years previously to operate within the Romanian market. So it is on strategy according to the value creation plan to, in essence, for core markets to go for a podium position, and having now Winner part of the family and a multi-brand strategy in Romania, I think we are well positioned for that to start with. And of course, Romania does have some high barriers of entry, as you say. Secondly, it's also on strategy when it comes to what we call capital light and high impact M&A opportunities to pursue. And I think this is one of them. Yeah. So far, very happy with the transaction. Fantastic to have the opportunity to work again with Nick Seidel, that I worked with at Fortuna. So, and as you said, I was actually sharing your video analysis. So, yeah, it was a good one.
Okay. Thanks very much. A final question from me. If you were to put, obviously, you've talked about the challenges and what you've already done in the job, but if you were to put one thing from here, let's say right now, obviously this isn't the case, but you're only allowed to focus on one thing. What's at the very, very top of your priority list for 2025?
It's about delivering a great customer experience. It is to invest into our product proposition in our core markets, in particular in the UK, and having an obsession about the end-to-end customer experience, still being compliant, aiming for frictionless, but if anything is great experience for the customers in our core markets to start with.
Well, Per, best of luck with everything, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And to our viewers, thanks for watching.